is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that? It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie. Welcome to the podcast today.
Hello.
Today, it's a simple one, right? We're taking your calls. Were you in the right place at the right time? I received an Instagram direct message yesterday from someone who played a huge part in my life 27, 28 years ago, Whip.
Oh, my God.
It was one of the greatest days of myself and my mates' lives.
Okay.
It was the 1998 AFL Grand Final when the LA Crows won their back-to-back premierships.
Wow, right place, right time.
We got to be there, and something happened that day that I will never, ever forget. And my child has been missing ever since. I don't know where they are.
Sure, mate.
No, but you've got to hear what happened on this day and the person that got in contact with me. It's in the podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Nicolas Cage, an amazing actor. Hey, I didn't know if you know this, but I had to look after his kitten once.
Take it easy with my cat!
And I did. Looked after it. And you know he didn't want a cat originally,
I'm looking for a truffle pig.
so he got both.
Mate, I love it. I'm so confused by it. I love it. I'm slightly obsessed because I don't understand how this guy has a career in Hollywood.
No, well, I love him as an actor, but he is out there. This story is out there.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Here we
because
go.
he was in Australia filming
The Surfer.
which is the trailer's out now. When's the movie out, Tommy? It's out pretty soon, isn't it?
June 15, you can watch it on Stan.
Okay.
Okay. So while he was here, he was interviewed. I'll get to the amazing bit very soon. But he was also asked about Nicolas Cage. Are you aware of a couple of these bands? One, there's an Australian band that's called Nicolas Cage Fighter, and he knows about the band and he loves the band, right?
Of course he does.
The other one is, someone said, have you heard about Nicolas Cage Against the Machine? And he doesn't know about them. But there's a band out there that does Rage Against the Machine songs, but the lead singer dresses up as Nicolas Cage and he performs the songs in Nicolas Cage's voice. It's amazing.
Take it easy with my cat.
It is unbelievable. But this is the story, just quickly. I need to talk about this because they were asked about... he was asked about Nick Cave, the Aussie musician, who's an absolute legend. Have you ever met Nick Cave? Someone said that you've been mistaken for Nick Cave before. And he said, I don't think that there's a day that goes by where I'm not mistaken for Nick Cave. People also say, hey, Nick, you were great in The Hunger, which is a David Bowie film that Cage wasn't even in. But he said, I do remember that Nick Cave was very nice to me. We were at an animal sanctuary. I believe it was Sealy Animal Hospital in Texas, and he was terrific. I went up to him, I said hello, I shook his hand, and I said one thing to him. I said, Nick, only one letter separates us. You're Nick Cave, I'm Nick Cage.
I don't think he would have known. I don't think he would have had any idea. Wow.
That is
separated by one letter from Nicolas Cage.
I wonder if Nick Cave remembers the story.
Tommy, can we try and get Nicolas Cage on the show?
Yes. Or Tommy. Yeah. Nicolas Cage Against the Machine is a red room.
Yeah. I mean, they're not crazy ideas.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
There's moments in your life where you're in the right spot at the right time. And amazing. I would love to hear from people 13, 24, 10 if this has happened to you and you've just gone, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm here and what's happening around me.
Oh, so you're not talking about those videos where someone will be standing on the side of the street and a tyre will come loose and it'll just miss them. You know those amazing videos?
It could, yeah. Well said, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
No, I wasn't really of looking for that. But yeah, if you've got a story like that, 13, 24, 10, get involved because I've spoken about this before numerous times, the 1998 AFL Grand Final, and we went there for the 97 Grand Final, couldn't get in, so we had to watch it across the road at Punt Road. So we couldn't get in to watch our team win it.
Yep.
So we went back in 1998 and we got tickets. It was an unbelievable experience. And before the game started, a mate of mine, Timmy Boston, and I, we were standing there having a beer, And out of nowhere, a guy popped up and he said, "Okay, volunteers, you got to come and grab your red overalls and follow me down underneath the MCG." And we just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Wow. My mate and I looked at each other and said, "Let's follow them."
Great.
So we went down underneath the MCG, and then all of a sudden this guy's just throwing out these red overalls, and he's going, "Okay, so remember, guys, we've got to be quick. We get in, we get out, and that's it. The day is done." All right, so they're all volunteers. We didn't know what was happening. Then we were then ushered out onto the middle of the MCG, and my mate and I were in the middle of the MCG before the AFL Grand Final. All of a sudden a car comes out of nowhere, and it's Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time. He was the special guest, and he was driving right next to us. We were walking next to the car. We were supposed to be volunteers, had no idea what was going on, and we're shadowboxing Muhammad Ali, and he's right next to us.
Why have I never heard this story?
I've told this story numerous times.
Muhammad Ali in the red overalls?
Muhammad Ali. Then what happened, right, is that this was pre-game, right? So then all the people in the red ovals came off the ground and the game commenced. And we took off our red overalls. We then watched the Crows go on to win the grand final. We were inebriated. We were celebrating. It was the greatest day ever. We looked down onto the oval, and everyone in red overalls was then taking out the stage for the presentations after the AFL grand final. So we run down to the fence, put our red overalls on, and the security guard looks at us and goes, "Hurry up, guys. You're running late.
Get back out on the field."
So we ran out onto the field in our red overalls and celebrated with the team that we love.
Wow.
In these red overalls.
Is that a true story?
I received a DM on my Instagram page yesterday by a man called Brad, who happened to be there that day. Brad, welcome to the show, buddy.
Yeah, good morning, Fitzy.
Brad, this is an unbelievable story, Brad, and 14 years of radio with the big guy, and I don't think I've ever heard this story. Can you validate this story?
Yeah, I can definitely validate it. We were in the Army at the time, and we were sort of, as he said, in charge of putting out the stage and setting up the speakers and things like that. And a couple of young guys from Adelaide just sat behind us in our section, and we were just sort of having a chat, and one of my friends recognised Fitzy from the draft, I think it was at the time, or he was going into the draft or something like that. And we just got chatting, and all of a sudden we found an extra set of red overalls and ushered them out on the ground. And as he said, like 2 minutes later, Muhammad Ali comes past in the car. We're probably a metre and a half, 2 metres away from the great man. And
wow. So, Brad,
out in the middle of the field.
Were you a legitimate volunteer, or were you all helping organise this?
No. So we were in the Army at the time, and so we were backup people
right.
to sort of just set up and sort of not extra security or anything like that, but just in case, something happened. So as part of the Australian Defence Force football team, we used to do that every year, set up the stage and do sort of basically that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So Brad, when I say right place, right time, I just thought that we were in the right place, but you guys had recognised me beforehand and sort of ushered us down at the same time and knew that you were going to give myself and my mate the red overalls.
We didn't really know. We just thought it'd be a good joke just to sneak a couple of young folks from Adelaide who was watching the footy out onto the field. So it's sort of just, and it's amazing because it just stuck with me over these years, following you on the radio and football and stuff, and it was just,
Brad, there would have been nothing subtle about it. I can imagine young volunteers helping out, a couple of people from the Army, and then some guy at 6'6" wearing overalls that don't fit him, so they're chopping his crotch in half, and he's got ankle freezes.
Well, that's correct, and plus, at the time, he did have a bit of hair, so there wasn't the all that would have fit in with the soldiers like myself. Yeah. It was a mullety-looking thing from memory.
Oh, I love that, Brad.
Brad, can I just say, on behalf of myself and Tim Boston, one of my very good friends, it was one of the greatest days of our life. Being Crows supporters and seeing your team, that doesn't happen very often. So, Brad, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for I thought it was right place, right time, but you guys had picked me out, so thank you for looking after us that day, brother.
Oh, lost Brad. Hey, throw it out there, though. Right place, right time. If something happened to you and you couldn't believe the moment you found yourself in, but you just went with it, like Fitzy's story. Jenny and Mossman, what's your story?
So I was holidaying as a teenager with my family in Europe, and we had done a day trip to Monaco.
Yeah.
And there was someone that sort of approached us. They heard that we were Aussies, obviously from our accent. They said, come to this party. There's going to be a special announcement about Australia. And basically, it was the announcement when Juan Antonio Samares on the organising committee announced that Sydney had won the Olympics.
And the winner is?
So we were... And the winner is Sydney. And so we were in the room with the Prime Minister, the athletes, free booze, free party, and it was amazing. And the winner is Sydney, so it was pretty...
oh, my God.
Who was Prime Minister? Was it Howard, Jenny?
Oh, no, I was too busy celebrating. I can't remember.
So, Jenny, and it continued into the night, did it?
Yeah, it did. It did. It was. We saw the announcement on the big screen, and then that was it.
I love that.
That is such an iconic moment, and the winner is, and with the big pause in there, Sydney.
Yep.
Didn't he say Sydney?
Sydney. And I love the idea that somebody at the event you were at, Jenny, went, oh my God, we need some Aussies. Go and get some damn Aussies. Where can we find them?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Round up some more Aussies off the street.
Go to the pub. You'll find them. Go.
That is so good,
Thanks,
Jen. Let's
Jenny.
go to Susie in Mount Lewis. Right place, right time, Suze.
So I was travelling to Singapore on my own, and basically there was 2 seats that needed to be given to a family. They needed 2 extra seats on the plane, and the flight attendants asked who would offer up their seats. So I didn't know, but the next flight that I got on, they actually bumped me up to first class because I'd given up my seat. Wow. So it was pretty lucky.
First class.
Overall.
Yeah. So you had no idea at the time. You've just done it out of the goodness of your heart. And I wonder if that was the only seat that was free was first class, or they went, you know what, she's such a legend. Yeah. Let's bump her up.
Yeah, right place and right time, I think.
Suze, great story. What a treat.
Can you tell us what the meal was, Suze? Did you have a couple of nice wines? Was it crazy?
Yeah, well, I was on my own and it was a long flight, so I got carried away with the wine, I think.
Well done,
Good on you, Suze. Sandra's in La Perouse. What about you, Sandra? What's your story?
Oh, hi, guys. I was in Italy a few years ago, and we did a big 6-week driving trip, and we started in Rome and ended in Rome. And on the last day, before we flew out, we thought, we'll just go to the shops and see what's happening. And it turns out it was All Saints' Day, so the shops were shut for the morning. So we thought, okay, here's another church. Why not just do one last church? You know, we've been around Italy for 6 weeks, kind of over it. Anyway, we thought, we'll just go in this little church and have a look around, and we were just, taking in all the, beautiful artworks and all that sort of stuff. And next thing we hear these people going, Papa Francesca, and my husband goes, go do your Catholic thing, go and see what all the fuss is about. Anyway, I just walked up the front of the church, and in walks Pope Francis. With a small little entourage of people.
Wow.
He says hello to people and stuff like that, people from the church, all the helpers there, and there wouldn't have been maybe 40 people there.
That's it.
In total, because it was just a tiny little chapel. And then he goes in the side chapel and they sing a hymn, and we hear him sing with his people, and he sings, and then he comes out and he shakes some more hands, and he just leaves. And we're also looking a bit dumbfounded and thinking, did we just hear and see what we thought we did? And it turned out that we were in, you'll never guess, the chapel. We were in Basilica Maggiore for Mary, where he requested to be buried. And he was there because it was All Saints' Day, and that was his church. That's the Church of Mary in Rome.
That is unbelievable.
It's a tiny little place, and it's just this most beautiful, now we realise. And then when we heard he died and was going to be requested to be buried there in that side chapel where he'd gone in and sang, my heart, I just got goosebumps. And I said to my husband, see, it pays to do the Catholic thing every now and again.
Oh, my God. Sandra, you've been blessed. You have been blessed.
What about that?
It was that arm's reach in front of us. I got amazing photographs. him, and it was just like, oh my God. And it
Can
was
you
just
send
the
them through to us,
weirdest thing.
Sandra? We want to see the photos, actually. To go around and say for the rest of your life that you saw Pope Francis perform in front of 40 people, that's an unbelievable
He
effort.
sang for me in a small church, Indy in Sutherland. You got a story about the Pope as well, do you, Indy?
Yeah, I do.
What happened?
So last week or the week before, we were in Rome for a family trip, and we decided to follow a big line of people.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting blessed by the Pope.
Wow. So
On
they
his
were lining
last
up
day.
to meet him.
On his,
Yeah.
Is this before he passed, Indy?
Yeah, on the Sunday.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
so you were one of the last to see the Pope before he passed away?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
We just followed a big line and ended up at the Pope.
Oh, well, how did you feel when you found out that he was gone, Indy? Was it a bit of a surreal experience?
Yeah, especially because there was a big crowd in the Vatican City. It was hard to leave Rome.
You weren't responsible for him dying, were you, Indy? You didn't shake his hand with a dose of COVID or anything, did you?
No, I wasn't, I don't think.
When you get blessed, what does he do? Does he shake your hand or does he just bow his head down? Or
He just bows his head down.
Wow.
Fascinating.
That's amazing. Well, there was an Indigenous woman as well. Did you hear about that lady that was asked to go to the Vatican just before the night that he passed?
Yeah.
That he'd met an Indigenous woman from Australia who had done amazing things here, and they got a phone call saying that he would like to see you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And she went and saw him the night that he passed away.
Oh, my God.
I
noticed the top trending show over the weekend was Conclave. Has anyone seen that?
Yeah, I saw it on the weekend.
Is it good, is it?
Yeah, I went to the old Cremorne Orpheum there.
Yeah,
and,
Well,
popped
they've
in
already
there and-
commissioned Conclave 2. That's how big it's got.
I don't think it could do that.
Conclave 2, I'll be back. Who's back?
Yeah, the long road to sainthood.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's suspenseful. You'll love it. You'll love
Okay.
it. Because I wasn't sure about seeing it, but it's awesome. It's really good.
Right here, right time. We've got some good calls there, Tommy. Maybe we can do that again.
Yeah, well done to everyone involved.
Anyone else has got a story?
Congratulations.
Keep them coming.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Guys, let's talk the Pope Leo. And news,
toss the boss.
news this morning, Ash. We were talking about the Prime Minister making his way to Rome for the swearing in of the new Pope. Have I got Ash there?
She's just having a Bircher muesli,
Sorry,
guys.
Ash, I've got you with a mouthful. Have we locked? When is it? When is the swearing in of the Pope, the Pontiff?
I believe it's next week, isn't it, Ash? And then Albo's going to meet with some world leaders over there.
Yeah, Albo will be making the most of that trip. But he's had a busy few hours, Pope Leo. He fronted about 6,000 journalists overnight as well for his first presser with them. And he spoke about free speech and how important he finds that. He also phoned Vladimir Zelensky in what was his first known phone call with a foreign leader. So he's been really, really busy.
I wonder if you get a heads up if you're Zelensky. Do you get a heads up the Pope's about to call, or do you look at it and go, right, new number, who dis?
I'd say he gets a heads up, yeah.
Maybe.
Has he done his first TikTok or anything yet, Jet? Ash, has he done anything sort of differently or... No
TikToks.
Okay.
I mean, there's still time though.
Yeah, I think he's on Be Real. Let's talk about this one because I love this audio now. Whether this is real or not, I don't know. But on TikTok, there's over 3 million people that have viewed this. And it is a Zoom call. I'm going to set it up for you. It's a Zoom call between a mother and a daughter, and they're waiting on the announcement of who the Pope is. And when they realise that Leo is chosen as the Pope, the penny drops for maybe some history that the mother has had.
Bob, it's Bob Primos. It's literally Bob Primos. Yes, it's literally Bob. Mom said you as the Pope of the Catholic Church. Oh my God. My mom hooked up with the Pope.
My mum hooked up with the Pope.
What?
Yep, before he was the Pope and before he was committed to the church, Mum had some couch time for her sins with the Pope.
Well, who did we know? Sarah, who worked here, didn't her mum hook up with Malcolm Turnbull? Like, I mean, that would have been something like that in the family. That's a story that you remember forever.
Remember that mate of mine who went out with Margot Robbie for 8 years? think he's still in tears.
That was amazing. And he was shattered. When her career took off, he was absolutely shattered, wasn't he?
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I like her, but she's no good in bed. I like him, but he's got an ugly head. Should we go or should we stay with them? Make a list of pros and cons.
Do you know what? It doesn't have to be just the start of a relationship. It might also be a relationship you've been in for a while and it mightn't be going that well. So you've got to make a call. Am I going to stay with them or am I going to dump them?
Caroline in Freshwater. Good morning, Caroline.
Hi, morning. How are you? How's it going, everyone?
We're good, Caroline.
Caroline, have you seen the tradies, the electric bikes around the northern beaches?
Yeah.
They out of control
Yeah.
at the moment? Yeah.
They are. I'm a big fan of them, but yes, they do cause a lot of issues.
So true. Caroline, what's the name of the person you've been seeing?
Dan.
Danny boy.
Dan of Inspector. Yeah.
Oh, Dan the man. Let's talk. How long have you been seeing Dan the man for, Caroline?
I'm seeing him for about 6 months, I'd say now.
Damn, Daniel.
She's it's fresh. I can smell it. It's fresh.
Very
Fresh water, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right. What are the
fresh
good
and fresh
things
water.
about? What's the good things about Dan?
Okay, so we've got 3 pros. I've got one. He's really handy. Can fix anything I ask.
Yeah.
Always on it, really quick. Loves cooking.
Oh,
loves
God.
doing that.
A handyman that cooks.
Yes,
This
I
is
know.
a dream.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
The third one is always has time on the weekend to do really fun things, like goes to the beach and whatever.
Prioritise lifestyle. Lifestyle.
Yeah. And then the con, so relates to the cooking one. So every time, really good at making dinner, but then when we're eating, he just moans the whole time while he eats.
What do you mean moans? Because he's enjoying the
going,
food, or
every bite he takes, he goes,
what? Like he's happy with his own cooking?
Yeah.
What a moaner!
Yeah, but doesn't realise it, and then I'll just stare at him, and he'll just be, I said, "You're moaning," and he's still going,
Is he moaning or are you moaning?
Can I throw just quickly before you go on to another con? But if he's the one that's cooking and doing all the hard work, I think he deserves a moan every now and then when he has a
yeah, that is a good
feed.
point. I mean, it's very fair. But it's also we're talking very plain food, so it doesn't. I wouldn't say.
So we're not happy with the cooking.
Okay.
Pardon?
You're not happy with the cooking, Caroline?
No, it's very good
it's
cooking.
plain.
But I'm it's not 5-star Michelin restaurant, you know.
We have some high expectations here.
Yeah.
Any other cons, Caroline?
The other one was when he. This is a real weird one. He has 45 minutes scalding hot showers, but so hot to the point that he sets the fire alarm off and then has to run out of the shower completely wet to turn the fire alarm off.
And is he moaning when he does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's doing something else. What else? Any other cons?
The other one, he has 3 phones and says it's for work.
Ooh. 3 phones are for work, are they?
Yeah. What do you reckon?
And does he leave them out? Does he know that you know he has 3 phones?
Yeah. He has them lined up perfectly next to each other.
Okay, I think that's okay. He's open about his 3 phones. He's a handyman and he's cooking. You know what I mean, sister? You got yourself marriage material here.
No, I know.
Yeah, I would
What do you
stay
reckon?
with him as well, Caroline.
What do you reckon?
How old are you, Caroline, can I ask?
24.
24. Okay, so you're young as well. I mean, it's not very often you're going to find a handyman on the northern beaches that can cook as well, Caroline. I'd go with Whip on that one.
Yeah. And if the food's plain, extra salt, you're going to be okay. Caroline, hang in there.
All right, fine. I'll give him another 6 months, maybe.
Oh, call us back in 6 months with a brand new list.
We'll call back in 6 months with a new list. I'll keep you
love
guys in the
that.
loop.
Thank you, Caroline.
Rebecca in Sydenham. Hi, Beck.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, Beck sounds nervous.
Matt.
A little bit.
Let's talk about the old welcome, Matt. How long have you been with Matt?
About 18 months.
Okay. He sounds like a dreamboat to me. Why is he a dreamboat, Beck?
He's really compassionate. He volunteers in the community.
Oh, so you know what? A community member, a valued community member, is priceless.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thanks so much.
He loves to help.
Oh, well,
Love
that's
that.
great. He's got a big heart.
Anything else?
He helps around the house. He always brings the bins up and down the driveway.
Great.
Yes,
really handy on bin night.
Good effort by him if he's prepared to do that.
And
what
we'll
recycle?
recycle.
What about his physical features? What do you love about him, Beck? Is it his guns? Is it his chest? What is it?
Well, he's not going to go bald anytime soon because he's got a great head of hair.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Is it a good head of hair, or is he overall a hairy guy?
No, he's not overall a hairy guy, just on his head.
That's a shame, because I know girls like overall hairy guys. So.
He's not on hair
No,
meds, is he?
Doesn't matter if
he
he
wouldn't
is.
go
No.
that far, would he?
Just all natural.
Yeah, natural's fine, meds are fine, whatever. If you don't like something, change it.
You wouldn't want to do that, that's for sure.
All right. So he sounds like a bit of a dreamboat, and Beck, I can only assume on the intimate side, things are on track.
Yes, things are on track.
Good.
Okay.
He's a
So we
good
need to know.
kisser.
Let's get on to the cons, the old welcome Matt. What's wrong about Matt?
At the dinner table, he likes to tap and shake his legs while he's sitting there to get blood circulation.
Okay. Does he say it's for blood circulation, or is he just
Yes.
nervous about giving direct feedback about your cooking?
It could be both, you know.
Yeah. Do you do most of the cooking, Beck, or is it
Yeah,
Matt?
I do.
Okay.
No, it's me.
Beck's the cook. Okay, so shaky leg. He's got shaky leg, restless leg syndrome.
Cons? Any other cons?
He likes to send me a bill after we've been out for dinner to pay half.
No, he doesn't. He's joking,
Yeah, he
though,
does.
isn't he, Beck?
No.
Oh, you've
Hang
been
on a
going out for 18 months. He's got to step up as a man and take that over, Beck.
I know. I keep telling him that.
Oh, what about it? I mean, we spoke about physical features before. He has great head of hair. Anything that you don't like about him, Beck?
Unfortunately, he's had too many chocolate bars. He's missing a few teeth at the back of his mouth. So when you go to kiss him, you can fill the holes with your tongue.
Oh. Is he going to do something about it, Beck?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh,
Well,
Beck,
I mean,
I can't have you. I can't
If
have
he
your
gets
tongues.
veneers, if he gets
He
the
could get a cold
chompers.
tooth like 50 cents.
He could get a gold tooth, yeah. If your tongue is sliding between the gaps of his pegs, then I don't know if that's the sort of thing you want to be doing. That's not much of a turn on, is it, Beck?
Not really.
I mean, people have weird things. I mean, if you're into gums, by all means, but I don't think many people are.
I don't mind having a couple of teeth missing. I mean, it's to take him out every now and then and just do the old stare down a kid, which is quite funny. There's some party tricks involved with that as well. Look, I disagree with Whipper on this one. I'd say I'd stick with him, Beck. I would stick with him.
What? So you're saying you get home from a beautiful night out, you're excited to go back, and maybe there's a bit of love to make, and first thing when you walk in the door, he sends you a bill, so you have to pay half the dinner, and then you start making out and digging the leftover food out of the gaps in his teeth.
Do you know why he's doing it though, mate? Because he's been volunteering all day and taking the bins out and also brushing his beautiful mane that he has.
We go to the third party on this. Ash, you're listening to the pros and cons list.
Come on, Ash.
From Beck, you are going to decide whether a relationship is over or it continues. Hang on to it or dumped. Ash, you're on.
I think if he gets the holes in his mouth sorted,
Well,
she
he
can
doesn't.
keep him.
We can't.
Hang on to it.
No.
He's getting dentures, mate. He's getting dentures.
She never said he was getting dentures. We
Is
have
he
to go
getting
with what we
dentures,
have.
Beck?
He might use the money that I pay for the bill for the dinner to pay for his dentures.
You'll be paying for
There
half
you
the
go.
dentures as well. All right, Beck. Good luck.
That was a beautiful
Oh,
Thank
story.
you.
gosh, that
There's a
is
movie in that.
How hot.
There's a movie
Missing
in that.
teeth.
Who would play Beck and who would play Matt? Well, Matt Damon would probably be able to play Matt, I would say. Rebecca Black? Could she play
That from the Friday song?
Beck's role?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Friday, and my boyfriend doesn't have teeth.
I mean,
Rolls off the tongue.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
tradies, have a listen. Maybe you're out and about on the work site. What's the first thing people do, you reckon, when they wake up in the morning and they pick up their phone? A little bit of social media, maybe jump on Tinder, swipe.
Or just see where you can get the cheapest can of V.
So true. If you're a tradie, you're looking for your V this morning, you might pick up the Traveller Pie and then swipe. Tinder swipe. A guy on social media has come out. He's an expert on social behaviours, Ryan James. And he has come out and said, we are creating dating a new breed of men. Have a listen to this.
On Tinder, a man of average attractiveness has to swipe right 200 times to get one coffee, and then 4 of those 5 coffees will ghost him. They will decide they don't want to meet him or they won't show up. That means a guy of average attractiveness has to swipe right 1,000 times to get one coffee. Now, what does that tell that guy? Women don't value me. Women make me feel rejected. And then they go online, they see these misogynists telling them it's not your fault. And these men become much more prone to misogynistic content, much more prone to nationalistic content, blaming other people for the lack of economic opportunity. They start sequestering from society. I worry that we are literally evolving a new species of asexual, asocial male. And if a man by the age of 30 hasn't either lived with someone or married someone, there's a 1 in 3 chance he's going to have a substance abuse problem.
Wow.
That's pretty full on,
Interesting
isn't it?
theory. Big number and big claim at the end there, that if a man by the age of 30 hasn't lived with somebody or dated someone, that they'll have a 1 in 3 chance of substance abuse. Massive claim. Tradies, are you on Tinder? Is this going on?
13 24 10. Noah's giving us a call from Schofields. Good morning, Noah.
Hello, mate.
What are your thoughts on that, Noah?
My mate Bishop, he has a scroll through Tinder every morning. He's got the Tinder Gold, and he just swipes, and then when you see him at like Smoko, and he'll be looking at him, he gets some rough one day.
So Noah, on the way to the work site, he is swiping. So he's setting up his night that night. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's just getting ready to plough through them.
Now,
Come on, Noah. Stick with us, buddy. Keep it clean, mate.
Noah, I need to ask. Is he a good-looking bloke? Like, do you honestly think he's a good-looking bloke yourself?
Yeah, he's a good-looking rooster. He's built like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noah, what's the difference between Tinder and Tinder Gold? Like, if you have the gold one, what do you get for that?
Oh, he just unlimited likes. He just swipe, and then you can just keep going.
Right.
How old is he, Noah?
26.
And how long has he been on Tinder for? I mean, does he normally line up one date a week, or how often is he dating?
Oh, I don't know. He gets a few a week. He gets a few a week.
Okay.
He doesn't.
You boys concreters?
No, scaffolders.
Oh, scaffs. You're on the scaff, are you, mate?
Scaffs. Be careful, mate.
No,
Don't
you've got to
hurt
be
yourself.
careful, mate. Make sure you got your ticket.
13 24 10, fellas, get involved, because the other thing is...
You're not going to ask Noah what he has for breakfast?
What do you have for breakfast, Noah?
Me? I just normally have been a ciggy.
Well done, son. Well done. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. So that's unbelievable.
That'll fill you.
You can imagine what his stomach's churning around at the moment. So there's 1,000 swipes, though. I must admit, I actually agree with the guy that must be pretty deflating.
Yeah, it would be.
If you're getting ghosted 3 or 4 times out of those 200 swipes, ghosting would have to be the ultimate kick in the face.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You've gone to all the effort. You finally found someone. You've done yourself up, and then all of a sudden they haven't rocked up.
Yeah.
That must.
I know.
So then you're watching. So what they're saying, you're watching social media whip, and then you hit all these absolute pigs of blokes like Andrew Tate are saying it's not your fault, and they start listening to these male chauvinistic dicks.
They feel like someone's, speaking their language. And then you turn up for the date, the person's not there, and you're getting another can of and a smoke on the way home. 13 24 10 tradies, if you're out there and you want to comment, if you're swiping hard and trying to get a date.
See, it is that would be very deflating. Do you know what, though? When do you get to an age where you go, I don't want to swipe anymore. I really want to settle down.
Well,
I think you've got to get out of... That's an addiction. If you're on Tinder and you're swiping 200 times on the way to the work site every morning, that's an addiction.
Well, you would say that if dating apps worked, they wouldn't exist.
Well, hang on. The beautiful Ash just got married and she met her partner on a dating app.
Oh, sorry, Ash, which one was that on?
That was on Tinder.
Oh, okay. So right in the sweet spot here.
Mm-hmm.
Were you swiping? Did you ever get ghosted, Ash? No.
No, never ghosted. No.
What about that footballer?
Oh, don't do this. Can I ask, Ash, how many dates did you go on before you found your husband?
I went on
Tinder?
a few. Yeah, no, I would say like a handful.
Yeah.
And obviously you're chatting to a lot of people as well, and a lot of those don't eventuate into dates.
Yeah.
But I think this mentality that if you get rejected, then it gives the green light to misogynistic behaviour, I think that's pretty problematic.
Couldn't agree more.
But see, do you know what? This is what flicks up in their feed, though. It's the algorithm. And do you know what? They get so deflated, though.
Yeah,
Ash,
but rejection is part of life.
Yeah, it is.
People aren't always going to say yes. Like,
No.
you don't have to be everyone's cup of tea. That is part of life.
But I think it's the compound. If someone's gone for a year and they just continue to get rejected, that's when it becomes a little bit dangerous to what they're then looking at. Michael's in Mount Druitt. You're a bit older, are you, Mick?
Yeah, mate, I'm in my 50s.
Okay, still swiping?
Yeah, I'm on a different one. It's called carbon dating.
That's how old you are, isn't it, Rick? They've been able to date you back to the 50s.
Oh, easily.
Good on you, Rick.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.